Marissa, who was 15 at Christmas in 1977, got the most special gift of her life. This was a surprise. She finally met her real sister, and her life took a big step forward. But in just 3 months, it all came to a sad end. On March 28, 1978, her dead body was found near San Francisco's Sutro Heights Park. She had just spent a great weekend with her sister. Detectives started looking into this terrible accident right away, but they had no idea it would take more than 40 years to solve. How could Marissa's trip to San Francisco have gone wrong? Who could have done something so terrible to a 15-year-old girl? Hi, and welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, please consider subscribing, as it helps us motivate to create more intriguing content for you. Let's have a look at the 44-year-old cold case finally solved in 2022. People come from all over the world to visit San Francisco because it has so many beautiful sights. The city is between the Golden Gate Bridge and the rolling hills of the Bay Area. It has a varied environment, with busy streets, clean beaches, and beautiful parks. The area is a hub of excitement and fast-paced living, with many job options, a thriving social scene that never sleeps, and a bustling entrepreneurial culture that keeps the energy up and the ideas coming. San Francisco is still a city where dreams and reality mix because of its appeal, differences, and mysterious stories. It is still considered one of the safest big towns in the country, with a low rate of violent crime. Sutro Heights Park is a famous public park in the outer Richmond district of western San Francisco. In 1978, the body of 15-year-old Marissa Harvey, who had been beaten and bruised, was found there. This was one of the most tragic cold cases in U.S. history. Somewhere in New York in 1963, Marissa Rolfe Harvey was born. She was an orphan, so no one knew who her real parents or siblings were, before she was taken in by a family in Port Washington, New York, when she was 3 years old. Marissa's adoptive mother, Marguerite Schultz, said that she was a very special and different little girl. Marissa was a true explorer at heart, and riding her horse to see new places was her favorite thing to do. Marissa was always looking for her next adventure. During the summers of 1976 and 1977, she either rode her horse through the rolling hills of her neighborhood or rode her bike through the beautiful scenery of Europe. She not only liked to try new things, but she also cared about other people. She was known to spend a lot of time shoveling snow for her elderly friends and was always willing to help those who needed it. Even though she started to be happy with her new family, she secretly wanted to find out more about her real family. Years went by, and Marissa turned 15 soon after. Then, on that terrible Christmas day in 1977, things started to change. She did not know that her life was about to take a turn she did not expect. As Marissa's family celebrated December 25, 1977, they were in a very happy mood. A strange woman named Miriam Wadiv showed up at the Port Washington home of Marissa's family. Miriam said that she was Marissa's long-lost real sister, which was a shocking claim. She told them that she had been trying hard to find her beloved younger sister with the help of a professional research company. Now that she was standing in front of Marissa, Miriam invited her to go to San Francisco to meet her long-lost real family. Was this some kind of Christmas miracle or just bad luck? Marissa would not pass up this chance because she was eager to get in touch with her real family. At first, the teenager's parents did not want to let her go to California by herself, but in the end, they agreed. Her foster mother said that they did not really want Marissa to leave, but they thought it would be unfair to her if they did not let her. But before they let her go, they asked her sister Miriam to look after her. In 1978, when Easter break was coming up, her parents thought it was the right time for Marissa to go on this trip. Marissa was counting down the days until Easter break so she could go to San Francisco by herself. The scene was finally ready, and Marissa was ready to go. On March 24, 1978, the plane landed at San Francisco International Airport on a cool Friday morning. Miriam welcomed Marissa with open arms when she arrived at the airport and took her to the apartment where she lived. Marissa was more than happy to spend the rest of the holiday with her sister. After having some of the best days of her life with her sister, she was almost ready to go home. She was still having fun, though. She asked Miriam to take her horseback riding on the last day of her trip, When her little sister asked for something so simple, Miriam could not say no and had to give in. But her job kept getting in the way. She had to go back to work because she was a graduate student and teacher at the San Francisco Institute. So, she asked a friend to take Marissa to the stables on her behalf, not knowing that the stables were closed that day. The friend of her sister took her to the Golden Gate Park stables. Miriam was surprised to see that Marissa was not home when she got home from work. She told the police right away that her sister was missing. Marissa's weekend was meant to be special, and she deserved a good way to end the time she spent with her sister. Instead, bad things happened. It was supposed to be her last day in San Francisco with her sister, but no one knew that it would be her last day alive. When the cops got to the scene, they found Marissa's dead body in a bush next to a trail. Her sister Miriam was able to tell who she was. When the cops saw that Marissa's body was dead, it was clear that she had been beaten. Coroner Boyd Stuffin said in his report that she had been raped and then badly beaten and choked with a cord-like device. The police looked everywhere in the area for signs, but they did not find any. The San Francisco Police Department oversaw an investigation that used the most advanced technology available at the time and followed every tip. They found a DNA sample at the scene of the crime, but because they did not have access to better technology at the time, that did not help them move the case forward. Even though the police were able to find her body and gather all the proof quickly, they were still unable to find any suspects. Since there was no proof and no leads to follow, the case went cold almost right away and stayed that way for 42 years. The case went cold until the department's cold case team restarted it in October 2020. The family of the teenager who died more than 40 years ago was finally able to say goodbye. In a speech, San Francisco Police Chief Bill Scott talked about how he felt. He said that Marissa Harvey's family had been working hard to find her killer for more than 40 years. He was sure that the case should be over by now and that their family deserved answers. The police started looking for the killer again right away, but they did not say more about the ways they used it. But the SFPD Homicide Unit, the District Attorney's Office in San Francisco, the FBI, and the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office in Colorado worked together to look into the case more. In this case, San Francisco District Attorney Chesa Boudin shared details about the resolution of a long-standing cold case. The breakthrough came when detectives utilized a third-party DNA database to identify DNA from a relative, ultimately leading them to the suspect, Mark Personette, who was 76 years old at the time. The police's persistent efforts paid off, and in March 2021, over a year after the crime occurred, Mark Personette's DNA matched a sample found at the crime scene. He was arrested in Denver, Colorado, 35 miles from his home in Conifer. Following the arrest, multiple law enforcement agencies collaborated on the case. Personette was charged with 1 count of murder in December 2021. San Francisco police expressed a desire to investigate whether Personette might be linked to other unsolved cases involving violence against young women, and they shared his old booking photos from New Jersey. Personette was held without bail in Jefferson County for the murder of a young girl, with a hearing scheduled for January 10, 2022. It was unclear whether he had legal representation at that point. During the January 10th court meeting, it was revealed that Personette had previously faced charges for attacks in New Jersey in 1979. One case involved luring a 16-year-old girl into his car, where she was physically assaulted. Personette had been charged with aggravated assault, but had eluded justice at that time. Personette appeared in a San Francisco court on January 21, 2022, to face charges for the murder of Marissa Harvey. His defense attorney indicated that Personette had pleaded not guilty, emphasizing the need for a thorough examination of the case. Despite the passage of 44 years, the resolution of this case brought some closure to Marissa Harvey's family. The story underscores the dedication of law enforcement and the advancements in DNA technology that make it possible to solve even the oldest cold cases. What do you think the best ending to this sad story would be? Tell us what you think in the comments. Do not forget to like the video, and if you like the channel,